Yeah, what if it was just like a...
I ain't no altar boy. I ain't no yes man. No, no. You ain't no God of mine. No, I don't need your blessings to save me. Well, you thought that I was done. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down. Yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun fill me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. I got this storm in my head, a forest fire in my chest. Look at the time on the clock, man, I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead. Whether you're ready or not, I'm rolling in like a train off the tracks, coming at you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun fill me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down. Oh yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun fill me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Happy Friday, August 19th, 2022. It's Chris and Mark with the NWA Exchange Podcast. The only podcast you need to listen to know everything about Bella Vista and beyond. We hope you had a great week. Hope you've been keeping up with us. We're starting to become like Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere, man. Let's get into this. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
Another week, man. They're flying by.
I tell you what, the comments are just flying in these short-term rentals. It's a hot button right now,
Yeah, it is.
people are coming out and voicing their opinion because this is what needs to be done. You know, it's just a crazy. I mean, we went through those last night, the 3 proposals,
Yep.
and we'll dig into those a little bit more later. But
Yeah. So, we did that live last night on Facebook, man, and we broke down those proposals really good. I think we probably accurately deciphered all the information in there and kind of put it into an easy to read format. We'll recap that a little bit later in the show. But there's some other items that are on that agenda that I'll probably go into as well when we get to that portion of the show. But tell me what's going on this weekend, man.
Well, I guess I was going to get into, that's fine. We can go that direction. So just a reminder, we have a Poa board meeting coming up next week, Thursday, 8:25 at 6 p.m. So anybody that wants to come out and comment, they can. It's located on 98 Clubhouse Drive in Bella Vista. If they can't attend, they can send an email to Jessica McCrary. Her email is jessicam@bvpoa.com. Just allow at least for 24-hour notice, for her to get it and be able to submit it on your behalf. So
awesome.
It's important. The POA, there's a lot of stuff going on there right now. We'll dig into it too. Yep. A lot of people are upset over that 3 for 3, and there's really no happy medium. You're either on one side or the other with that. And I think
so many divisive topics in this community, man. It's just, you think about the divisive topics in this, in this nation right now with politics in general, right?
Yeah.
But then you've got, everybody's being boxed off.
Right.
And it's even happening here locally with the short-term rental stuff. It's happening with the 3 for 3. It's like, can we just take a moment and quit dividing our communities even further with these hot button topics that are they really necessary? I don't know.
Yeah, I think people are just frustrated, the back and forth, and we can go into that after,
Yeah.
There's just so much to get into. But we can get into the 3 for 3. We already told everybody where we stand on it. And I know there's been a lot of people that have been for and against it, and you're entitled to your opinion, at the end of the day. So city council meeting, here we go, August 29th, 6:30. Be there, be square.
Yeah.
Going to be at the courthouse, 612 West Lincolnshire Boulevard, exit 98. Take a left, fall right down. You can't miss it on the right side. So they're going to review the options, the 3 proposals, Chris, like we went through. And I bet you we're going to see a packed house there, man.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's going to be. So if you're interested in speaking, get out there early. My suggestion is get out there about 5:45, 6 o'clock at least, or else they'll take that paper, man, and run with it.
Yeah, they take it a couple minutes.
You got 3 minutes.
A couple minutes prior to start, and they'll grab, and they're like, every meeting now, like every hot button meeting, they're like, somebody wants to speak, and they're like, well, did you sign up? Well, you got the sign up sheet wasn't there whenever I walked in at 6:29. Well, yeah. And there was another guy that wanted to do that. They finally relinquished it and said, yeah, you could come off. But yeah, there's a lot of frustration. That last meeting with short-term rentals, great turnout, some great communication. Unfortunately, they didn't take a lot of it. I think at this point, we'll see what happens. They can go through 3 proposals. So if you want to comment on them, you got limited time. You got maybe a minute for each proposal. You can go down and discuss what you like or what you don't like about it and tell them. Maybe we can refine it and make it manageable. But the way it stands right now, I guess how we feel about it, right, Chris, is it's just there's some things that are fine and other things that just aren't going to fly. So yeah,
we can get into that.
We'll break that down and kind of give our final summary of what we think. And I think that. We shopped around that live feed last night on some groups, and I think it was pretty positively received by some of these people who are very vocal about this topic. I think that we nailed everything in it.
Yeah, people they own these are doing the best they can to manage them, and let them manage it. We don't need it's back to big government in the city getting involved within it. But I'm not going to get into it, man. Everybody knows the deal right now. So. Hey,
inflation busters, right? You got an inflation busters deal.
I had to put this in here, man. And just for everybody's sake, I'm not getting paid by $10 cost plus, but I wanted to let you know things are tight right now, man. But they have boneless New York strips, whole boneless New York strips, Chris. I know you love to grill. $5 a pound. $5 a pound. Pork butts. Everybody loves pulled pork, man. 2-pack, $165 a pound. 80-20 ground beef, $265 a pound. There's some good deals.
I can make it over there tomorrow. We were just talking. The wife and I were just talking about, we need to do another pork butt, man.
Yeah, I was over picking up stuff in Walmart, and I just overheard a younger couple, and he was picking up stuff, and she says, "We can't afford that." That's what she said, and I feel for him, man, because that's the way it is now. You know, it's too expensive. We got to live within our means. It sucks, man.
It's
but
sad, man. It's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, and so how it can go from where we were a few years ago to now, right?
Yeah.
But it's not just happening here; it's happening in other places, man. Like there's over in the UK, man. Like they're like telling people to ration water, right? In a place that's historically wet, you have to ration water and take and now they're looking at food shortages, and people are on the brink of revolt over there, man.
Right.
And so I find it weird, man. We can focus on sending people to Mars and all this money that we're shooting off into the ether.
Ukraine,
right? Ukraine.
Billions.
Yeah, there's another one, billions, right? But we can't come up with a sustainable way to farm and fix these supply chain issues. This just-in-time system that everybody went to. I don't think it's going to be on time, man. I don't.
No. So someone sent me an email and asking, what I don't know what that is. It's cost plus 10%. So you go up there, everything they're selling is a cost, then you get to charge the 10% on top of that, which is great because most margins in most traditional grocery stores could be 30, 40, 50% in some cases. So
yeah, you take a 1 pound New York strip, right? And you cut that up into 4 ounce portions, like little filet mignons or whatever, right? You cut that up, and you can mark that up all day long, man. You can mark it up all day long. You got a butcher, you repackage it.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty big on that. So just saying.
Yeah, just letting everybody know it's located 103 North Dixieland Rogers. This is running from 8/17 all the way to 8/23. So hit it this weekend and fill up your freezer and try to ride it out to the next sale, man.
Just make sure you go after I go. Okay.
You got to sort through them, man. Sometimes you can find some really good ones. I found one time. It was prime, dude. I cut it open. It was the marbling on it was prime. It was like, wow. Yeah. It doesn't always happen like that. So, but okay, here we go, man. Since there was such a huge turnout on Coffee with a Cop, they're going to do it again. And you know what? I think I'm going to go to this one, Chris. It's awesome. On Thursday. I got time. September 20th. Yeah. I put it in my calendar. So Coffee with a Cop, Thursday, September 22nd.
Let me know if you need a GoPro, man.
9 a.m. It's at Village Bible Church. Address is 1591 Forest Hills Boulevard, Bella Vista, over on the west side there. So, and just a reminder, man, Labor Day. Can you believe Labor Day is right around the corner, man?
Where did summer go, man? It was. I mean, I'm not complaining because the cooler weather is here, right? So. But I mean, it's just like it blew by real quick. It feels like
it's like you said, with all this COVID stuff, it feels like we lost 3 years of our life. I mean, it's just weird. It's like in a black hole or something. So just a reminder, everybody knows Labor Day, everything's closed. So make sure you get all your beer and all your food that Friday.
I don't think everything's closed on Labor Day. I'm sure Walmart has people checking themselves out.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't give up $1, man. Yeah, you're probably right, man. All right, I'll say municipal offices. How about that?
Yes. Any government entities. It is a federal holiday, so these government entities, mail won't run, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. So, what do you want to get into next? You want to hit a little bit on our interview with?
I think, we can talk about. You know what? Let's go to a break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back. You can talk about it. Then we'll play it, and then we'll go to another break and come right back.
Okay, sounds like a plan. All right, let's roll.
We'll be right back.
It must be the way I walk. It must be the way I talk. You know I got something to say. And I can keep going for days, yeah. Call me up if you need a little sauce, baby. Follow me if you get a little lost. I'ma put the money in the toll on the road. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. I got what it takes, got what it takes. I don't wanna slice, want the whole cake. Make the money move, that's my forte. Then I'ma take off for the whole day. I'm just weighing all my options. Looking at my watch, hit me back when it's popping. I've been on top cause my stock never dropping. And this is for the ones that been watching. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck to the.
Hydrate, kids.
We are back from that little break right there. That was shot this week, actually, down there at All-American, Lake Bella Vista All-American Heroes Trail. If you remember one of our previous podcasts, we interviewed Nasty Rob from Nasty's Float Shop. They deal with one wheels and personal electric vehicles. They're at the McKissick Creek Plaza right outside of Bella Vista, on the other side of Lowe's, on the right there as you're going into Bentonville. Check them out, man. They do rentals. If you think you might want to get into this, or you got a family member who might want to get into this, got some boarding experience, awesome opportunity. They rent them, but they'll get you on one, make sure that you're comfortable, give you some instruction. They do overnight rentals. So want to rent one for a couple of days, get out there and try it.
Guys, it's
I love
not
it,
as easy
man.
as it looks, man.
Do what?
It's not as easy as it looks, though.
I would say it's not as hard as you would think, though, either, right?
Yeah.
There is a little bit of a learning curve to it, but if you have any board experience, I think that once you get comfortable with the board, you can pick it up real quick. I mean, Rob and Joey and Tom, all these guys that I met through Dirt Surfers and stuff and started hanging out with and sponsoring their team, they very, very knowledgeable, very patient. They love what they do, man. So like getting on a one wheel and hanging out with them, these guys are pros, man. It pushes me to get a little bit more comfortable and easier, and probably to take a little bit more risk than what I normally would if I was just learning on my own. But I like the challenge.
That's good. You get
like
someone better than you, that makes you better, right?
Yep.
I met those guys in Eureka Springs with you, and they're talented, man. They're dedicated to the one wheel, and that's why they're so good. They love it. They enjoy it, and you can tell they enjoy it. So I know that what's coming up, we have another
Amped Electric Games. So I'm going to be helping out with that as well. I got a phone call tonight. One of the guys that was going to help with the live streaming, unfortunately, he had to back out. So they've got the majority of the equipment and stuff. It's just having the technical know-how and stuff. So I'm going to be helping out over there. Amped Electric Games, they have awesome. I need to get the web link. I'll pull it up during the next break or over the interview session. But they have, I think it was 250 tickets for spectators, free of charge.
Wow.
All you have to do is go to the website and sign up. Seth said that on his podcast or his little cool YouTube update tonight. They're looking for volunteers. Volunteers will automatically get free tickets as well. If you have a food truck, if you've got some type of craft business, he's open to having you come out and support the event free. They've got the Benton County Fairgrounds for this event.
Awesome.
They're going to have camping out there. They've got a social area out there. They've got they're building a dirt track out there for Strava. They're doing the races. They're doing the jumps and stuff. It's going to be a cool time. I cannot wait. Yeah. I'm really stoked to get out there and be a part of this.
Man, I'd love to get out there and do a live show. That would be awesome.
Well, I'll let you know how the technical stuff goes. So we're gonna sit down with him and try to figure out I got to figure.
That's a big venue, man.
I was hoping that we was gonna just show up and be able to augment or provide technical expertise where needed. But now to hear that it's kind of like a fallout situation, and I think there's 12, 13 days before it starts, man.
Well, you usually get 12 or 13 minutes, man. So that
I know. I'm pretty savvy with, with what I do and how I do it. And, I've done, that's how Apex started. It was doing live streams and drone and video stuff. So, I think at the end of the day, it'll be a success. Failure when it comes to me, I look at things as failure is not really an option, right?
Right.
So, well, I'm stoked for that. I'll get that information pulled up on our web share after the interview, and we could talk about it. And then, obviously, like I said, if you're interested in, if you have a vendor or anything like that, interested, Seth's information will be on the website, and you can contact them.
Awesome.
Well, tell me about this interview, man.
So we had an interview with City Council running Donna Hutchinson. Now we've been getting calls, we've been getting emails. People said we need to get candidates on. I mean, I know it's what August today, 19th today. Early voting starts October 24th. The general election is November 8th, man. So we're not far off. So we did an interview with Donna Hutchinson. She's running for Ward 1, Position 2, which is in our backyard. We got 3 other candidates in that pool, right? We have one that we're going to be interviewing next week. We're not going to disclose that. People always ask me about it. Who's going to be on? You have to wait till Friday. So, it was a great interview. We just didn't have enough time. I wanted just to go over what her bio, I guess, is what I want to go over quickly, and what she's been a lot involved in. So she is been involved with the Bella Vista bypass. That was a big piece of legislation. Everything that went through here, and it alleviated a lot of traffic in this area. She's a proponent of charter schools, which I think is the future of this area. Tax holiday weekend, we were just talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
She was involved in bringing that. So great thing she's been doing in her background. And I glanced at this when we were doing an interview. We just didn't have enough time to go over it. And I don't want to get into too much minutia and bog everything down. But she was actually the deputy chief of staff for Congressman John Bozeman.
Yep.
So she had an apartment and she was running out of the Beltway in DC, going back and forth. She managed a whole group with the congressman. So day-to-day activities. So she was involved at a pretty high level there. So I think in this position, she's more than qualified for it. She was a professional mediator of Arkansas Circuit Court, in domestic and juvenile court. She was actually an owner of KBCV TV, which was a Christian news, a radio station here in Northwest Arkansas that was owned, I guess apparently she had said it was owned by her and Asa Hutchinson.
Okay.
So she was in the radio business, which is pretty crazy.
Awesome.
But
we might be able to get some pointers from her, right? I mean,
it was a pretty successful radio station, is what my understanding was, and so she's got a pretty well-rounded background. And she was on education committee, the transportation committee. So and she's back in this area. She spent some time in DC, so she knows how that system works. I guess is the lack of a better word.
Yeah.
The machine, let's call it. So
well, she's comfortable in navigating those political waters, right? I mean, and that's something that and on top of it, the mediation experience I think would be beneficial with what some of the challenges that Bella Vista has coming its way with the expansion and growth of Northwest Arkansas, right? And so being a mediator, you can facilitate like healthy dialogue between other council members and stuff and find that common ground like we were talking about on last night's show, right? So I think that there's some experience that, she's bringing to the table. And, I think that we get into this interview, man.
Yeah, well, just a quick thing. She's a mom and grandma. She has 3 sons and 10 grandchildren. She has that Chiweenie dog that we saw at the parade. Yeah. His name's Marty.
Marty.
So, and she's also involved with the Bella Vista Christian Women's Club, which is great. The church, she's a church member, and so there's a lot of. I was hoping to get that during the interview, but I knew it was going to just take too long, and I want to give everybody some backstory to that so they have an understanding. And I'm hoping like I said, we have another city council member next week. And there'll be 2 more, hopefully, in the same ward that will hopefully give us a call. She's a conservative, so we're aware of that. And again, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. Right. We have an open forum here, and if you don't take advantage of it, shame on you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's get into it and listen to what she has to say.
All right. If I can find it. Would be interview 1. All right, so Mark, we have one heck of a city race going on this election cycle. We've got at least 3 candidates running for every position that's open, minus treasurer. The vice Councilman Flynn position, there's 4 candidates running. We're lucky enough to have Donna Hutchinson on. She's running for city council position, and we're going to ask her some questions. You reached out this week. We sat down and had an interview with her, and let's go ahead and get into this.
Hi, Donna.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We're very thankful for the rain that came.
Absolutely.
And the cooler weather. The cooler weather.
Hey, we really appreciate you taking the time to come on. A lot of our viewers have sent numerous emails and what have you, talking about trying to get more politicians on and local city council members and what have you to find out where they stand on certain topics. So thanks again for taking the time. And we're probably going to go through a few questions for you and go from there. If there's anything that you feel that you need to touch on, by all means do that. So.
Okay.
All right,
Chris,
so,
you want to
our first question is, what will you do to improve transparency and communication between the residents and our local government?
It's very awkward being on the city council. The city councilmen can't talk to each other unless they let the press know. And I've been watching the meetings, and it's pretty stilted conversations. And I think I certainly would be open to having a once a month or so coffee and chat with the city councilmen so that there can be more of a natural flow of conversation back and forth. And it's very hard to tell the councilman what you think in 3 minutes. And that's about all they give. You can write letters and emails, but for some people, talking is their best way to communicate. So I think if we create a more open and a more casual situation where people can come and talk to their city councilmen over coffee and donuts, things like that. If there were 2 city councilmen at that situation, we would have to let the press know. But city councilmen can talk to the citizens of Bella Vista and not be worried about breaking some rule or anything. And I think that's the biggest thing, is talking to the constituents in Bella Vista.
Okay.
I agree.
So this is another question for you, and I know the voter turnout has been just abysmal, and I think a lot of it has to do with people that just fed up with this system in particular. But this question is, how do you plan to engage and involve residents in the decision-making process of our city? I think Chris and I touched a little bit about it from a perspective of there's all kinds of information coming from various areas, but there's no point of direct contact to the residents. In other words, how do we engage those people and how do we get the information to them?
One thing that I enjoyed when I was a state representative was constituent service. And I let the people of Bella Vista know, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you solve problems. If you remember the Dollar General situation that came when they wanted to put a Dollar General in the Medfield area, I had people calling me. They didn't know who to call in the city, but they called me and said, what are we going to do to stop this in our neighborhood? So I think you just get your address out, you have these meetings, and you have to take the initiative to let them know I'm available. And once your constituents know that, then they usually will just feel more at ease in calling you and letting you know how they think and what the problem is. Most of the problems that were constituent service when I was a state rep was just helping them work through the bureaucracy. They didn't know where to go. They didn't know who to talk to, and it just seemed like a huge mountain. And I enjoyed helping them with that. So I hope I can do that again as I serve as a city council person.
Okay. Yeah, it's frustrating because I know Chris and I have had numerous conversations about this, Chris, as far as turnout and the POA voting and what have you. And it seems like the 35 and under, it's just more disenfranchised, and people are just, the system is, people feel like their voice doesn't mean anything, and there's a lot of that going on. So
yeah, and also on top of that, the public notices that they are required to do before they, try to do a rezoning or whatnot. I believe they're required to put that in the paper. A lot of the 35 and under don't read newspapers. Like they're not picking up a physical hard copy newspaper and going through those public notices.
And they check the city website,
right?
Week.
But it's not out there in the forefront on the city website either. So,
it's usually on the Planning Commission website, but I know we found out about the Dollar General like 2 weeks before the vote.
Yes.
And then we used social media, and then everyone started finding out about it. So I think you just have to reach out, and like you said, use a vehicle that generation is used to and that they're comfortable with.
Modernize. I like that. If you receive a $1 million grant to use for the city in any way that you wanted, what would you use it for and why?
Well, I have a special, I don't know if this could be used or not, but I hope so. I would like to look into starting a charter school. We have some parents who they would like to see an independent school district. Some parents are very happy being in the Bentonville School District because it's the wealthiest school district, I think, in the state. But others on the west side that go to Gravette, their kids have to ride a bus for quite a long time. We don't qualify to be a detached school district yet. We don't qualify to leave and become an independent one. But I think if we could start a charter school, a lot of schools that want to detach, they start charter schools and they slowly build. And when they finally qualify, well, they already have the school already set up. And if we never come to the decision that we want to be an independent school district, we'll at least have a charter school on the west side that can offer all the parents in Bella Vista that option. So I would love to see that happen somewhere along the way. Is I guess was an old school teacher way back in the dark ages, and so that's a priority to me. Don't have young elementary kids riding buses for long trips back and forth and crossing into different school district lines. And it would be nice, I think, if we had sort of a Bella Vista charter school and anyone in Bella Vista could go to it. I think that would guide us also as a city better. We now have kids going to two different school districts.
Right. So let me ask you a question. When you say charter school to me, are you talking independent of the state? Is that what you're saying?
School is a public school.
Okay.
They are exempt from some regulations. They choose we're going to take a different teaching approach. Some charter schools are like music and art. Other charter schools are science and math. Usually most schools that want to head to detachment, they start as a classical school. Right. And they use more of a standard teaching. Bentonville has a charter school that is a classical, and it's very, very successful, and it's even getting awards nationally. But that's an approach that everyone would be comfortable with, and we could build on that. But at charter schools, there's Montessori charter schools, there's all sorts of charter schools, but sure. That is the one that's usually used when you want to start a detached school. And if it doesn't work to that, that's fine also.
You would think we get about 33,000 people in Bella Vista, we'd be able to have a high school on either the east side or west side, So it's kind of odd to me, like you said. I mean, majority of the residents on the west side are pulling from Gravette.
Yeah, I think you have to have like 2,800 students to become a detached school, and I haven't looked at the census yet to see if we are at that number. But even if we didn't have that many, we could still go ahead and start a charter school here in Bella Vista that I think might solve a lot of problems as we grow. It would be great to have, especially the elementary students, under one school. That would be great.
Sure. Here's another one. This one's a softball for you here. Where are your favorite places in Bella Vista to spend time? I mean, what do you enjoy doing the most?
I love going to Blowing Springs. I love going to Cooper Chapel. Whenever we have people to come to visit, I drag them there. I wish someone would put a sign up at Blowing Springs that says, behind the picnic tables is a spring coming out of a cave. Because when I'm there, or I'm walking my dog, people come by and they're new to the area and they just see picnic tables and they don't even get out of the car, Yeah. And so I often say, "Are you new here?" "Yes." I said, "Did you know there's a spring coming out of a cave?" "No." And then they all climb the car. I said, it's really cool back there, cool weather. So that's a suggestion I would make for those who are new. Let them know why it's called Blowing Springs.
Yeah.
But in
Great
the
point.
walking my dog, we try to find where the sun is and the flat surface. And during the summer, we look for a flat surface with shade.
Understand.
Yeah, so
Totally
many
understand.
this stuff. I know when my brothers come, they want to go to the rifle range, and they love going there. It is just a wonderful, and of course, you can play golf. I played golf for 3 years till I fell and then couldn't walk that far anymore. But there's just so many things you can do here in Bella Vista. If someone's bored, I think they have to work at it.
Yeah, we have a lot to do here. We've touched base on that. I don't know how many podcasts. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what the one thing we love about it here is the ability to. I mean, there's something for everybody here. Something for everybody.
I'm disappointed that our Bella Vista Lake has become a sort of a creek. I remember when it was a lake, elderly and small children would stand on the lake at the side of the lake and could fish,
Yeah.
and it was easy to get to, and but now it's almost impossible to get down there to the water now. So I'm really disappointed that's been taken away from us, because it was a safe, easy way for more mature people or children to go fishing.
Yeah.
I think that's an issue that needs to be addressed ultimately after the lawsuit and everything regarding the removal or replacement of the dam is complete. Hopefully in the near future that one will.
Well, Mr. Cooper wins the lawsuit and they have to get a new dam, and we get I thought it was funny. They had a sign up, Bella Vista Lake playground is being built. And I thought, it's not in Bella Vista and it's not a lake.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That's very true.
It's Bentonville. Yeah. It's like I always tell people, that's not Bella Vista, that's Bentonville's responsibility. And you would not ever see that in the heart of Bentonville, like in that status that it's in right now. Never. You'll never see it like that.
Well, I just feel bad every time it floods. The Veterans Memorial, this bad polluted water comes up and it smells for a while. And my father's name is on one of those blocks. So I hope they figure out something, at least to keep that area clean and controlled by the flow of water.
Totally agree.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. What do you feel should be a priority for the city of Bella Vista? Development of attraction, tourism, growth, or preservation of the community that we live in as it stands today?
When I was elected state representative, on that day, the people of Bella Vista also voted to turn us into a city. So we now have the city, we have the POA, and we have the ACC. I've often said I kind of feel like a polygamist trying to keep 3 wives happy here. But when I became a state rep, I thought, what do we need in the future that will help this city grow? And that's why I pressured the highway department to they had the Bella Vista bypass, wasn't even on the radar. They weren't thinking about it all. And I really put pressure on them through hissy fit and harassed them for 6 years. They did make Bella Vista the #1 priority. We need the Bella Vista bypass because that's where we can send businesses, hotels and restaurants. And we need sales tax for the city to keep growing, but because we're a POA, we don't have a lot of locations for businesses. So now that the Bella Vista bypass has been built, Bella Vista needs to annex that territory and claim it, and then we can collect sales tax up and down that corridor, and maybe even eventually have some apartments there. We're growing and we need sales tax. You know, I know there's a big issue about the short-term rentals, but there's no other place for people to go in Bella Vista if they want to spend the weekend or something. So, you know, I'm very thankful for them, but we're going to keep growing, and we need hotels and we need restaurants and we need the sales tax that will help the city grow. And so I know one of my big goals is let's annex the Bella Vista bypass. And if you've ever come to Bella Vista from the north, there's a long stretch where there are no restaurants, there's nothing there. It's beautiful rural area, but there's nothing. And so as people come down, they're spending their money in Bentonville and Rogers. I want them to spend it in the Bella Vista annexed Bella Vista bypass. We want to get their money before they hit Bentonville and Rogers.
Yeah, great points. So you beat me to the punch on this next question. This has been a hot button for the last, I don't know, a few months, right, Chris?
Yeah.
What is your stance on short-term rentals? I guess, because this is going to be going on next week, right, Chris? So we'll be getting into it with the city council. So we'll have, I guess we'll have a few versions of what they want to do. But what are your thoughts with the short-term rentals in Bella Vista?
Well, we need them, as I said before, but we also need to make sure, number one, that we know who they are and that they're giving us the tax money that the city is due. And if we won't know it unless we know who they are, you know. I'm all for short-term rentals. I rent them every once or twice a year for our family Christmas gatherings. And as people visit me, if I got more than 3 or 4 visiting, I get a rental. It's wonderful. I don't have to clean up after my grandchildren. Close the door and walk away. But I have a 10% philosophy. No matter how you divide up Americans, height, what kind of car they have, are they Royals fans, what their race, religion is, no matter how you divide them up, 10% of that group will be jerks. And, you know, that's probably true of the short-term rentals. And
Right.
so, you know, I don't think we need a lot of bureaucratic rules and regs. We just need some common sense ones. Since I use them often when I travel, I like short-term rentals. So I've watched them. There are some that are part of a POA. I try to get short-term rentals in a POA because you kind of know it'll be a safe neighborhood. And I remember one in Texas on the beach there. I wanted to rent it, and the owner called me and said, "You know this is a POA?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "The POA is very strict, and if you're not going to obey the rules, I don't want you to come." And I thought, well, that's not a very good sales pitch. But I found out in that POA, if the police have to come twice, then you lose your permit to have a short rental for till the end of the year.
Interesting.
And another one I went to that was under a city, as that would be here, if the police came more than twice, it would be like you were given a driving under the influence. You know, you'd get a ticket and you could go to court and you could plead your case. It'd be more of a judicial type approach, but you could also lose your permit if you didn't screen the people coming. And, you know, and we don't need to tell owners, you can't have parties, you can't do this and you can't do that. Most of these are very smart business people and they can figure out what they want. Some will say you can have a party, but you can't have liquor. Some will say you can't have a party at all. And, you know, the owners are smart people and most of them care about the neighbors. And so I think we just need a few rules and regs. I think the short-term rental people need to advertise this as a POA. so their customers will know what they're getting into. And the short-term rentals need to tell them there's only 3 parking places available.
Okay.
So when they get here, they know you can't bring more than 3 cars. You're not going to be able to park up and down the roads. We think there might be about 500 short-term rentals. That means on each short-term rental, there are 2 neighbors. So we might have 1,000 neighbors that are affected by short-term rentals. And if you use my 10% rule, there's probably 50 jerks. Which means there's 100 neighbors. So we're doing this big hoopla, and there's probably 100 neighbors that really have a real reason for us to do something about short-term rentals, whereas else is probably doing a pretty good job running their business.
Okay. The other part of this equation, I know you're intimate about this in Bella Vista because a majority of these houses are on septic. I mean, what's your stance on septic? I know it's needed up here. We've been having a lot of issues, and not only as it relates to short-term rentals in general.
Well, I think we ought to separate the septic from the short-term rentals. It doesn't matter if you're a full-time resident, long-term, short-term. We got to make sure the septics are working. Right. The state is getting concerned about our situation, and I'm afraid they don't want us to pollute the water. And I am interested in hearing what they're going to say. I'm thinking they're going to say somewhere down the road, not anytime close, but I think they're going to say you can only have so many houses in Bella Vista. And they're going to put a number there. And unless we can figure out a way to get sewer system, right. And we might be able to do that as we move closer to the Bella Vista bypass. If you want to build some houses out there, we might be able to do it. But for sewer systems, you've got to have a planned community. Whereas Bella Vista, when it started, you had a house here and a house there and a house, So yeah. Septic was a good situation for that. So I think we're going to have to listen to what the state says and realize we probably will have to start thinking along a planned sewer system if we want to build more houses.
So you think, and just a quick question for your septic systems and stuff should still be regulated by the state and ADH and oversee it. City council shouldn't be involved with that, right? I mean, they shouldn't be involved with any part of that.
Well, I think the city council can make sure you're keeping your septic tank. They can have an inspector. I don't think we necessarily want the state down here looking at the house, but that is something the city can do and make sure that people are keeping their septic tank. One problem is, let's see, I was here for 12 years and I had my whole septic tank redone. So when I sell it, the people, I can tell them, hey, you got a good septic tank here. But people who are buying, they don't even think to ask, how old is this septic tank? Yeah. And buy a house and 2 years later they discover they're going to have to redo and pay for a whole new septic system. But that comes with being a mature buyer, and we got all the young couples who they don't know the questions to ask.
Yeah, they're not familiar with septics, to be honest with you. A lot of them aren't. But a lot of them coming from cities, so they're so used to a sewer and they're just oblivious to what a septic tank is and the process and how it works.
I wish the realtors would be more upfront with that.
Well, I try that, Donna. I do. I explain it to them. Sometimes I over-explain it, and they get even more confused when I start talking about the lateral lines and everything else laid out, and they look at me like, now you're really scaring me. But I do try to do my due diligence, So, and I know there's other agents that do that, but there are some that don't. You're right. So
we'll do a recap your stance and the reason that why you felt people should vote for you. How do they get in touch with you? Do you have a website, Facebook page?
I would like to say I'm the only conservative in this race. There's 4 of us, and I'm the only conservative. The others are very liberal. This is, when I read for state rep, I could kind of count on, I'll have a Republican by my name. They'll know I'm conservative. But when you're running with a nonpartisan, they don't know who you are, and you really have to reach out and tell people your philosophy. I don't like a lot of taxes. I don't like a lot of regulation. I like a local government. And I think conservatives can be very creative. It doesn't mean we just sit here and twiddle our thumbs. I think conservatives can be very creative with solving problems. But I am the conservative in this race. So if you're looking for someone with that philosophy, then I hope you'll put an X by my name.
Okay.
And then how would people get in touch with you?
My website and Facebook are all supposed to be up next week.
Okay.
But you can call me right now. You can call me at 479-283-2165 if they have questions.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate your time and good luck to you during this race. We look forward to seeing the results in November. And if you have any talking points, feel free to reach out to the show and we'll have you back on.
Well, we appreciate you giving us this little platform. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks again, Donna. We appreciate you. Take care.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
It must be the way I walk. It must be the way I talk. You know I got something to say. And I can keep going for days, yeah. Call me up if you need a little sauce, baby. Follow me if you get a little lost. I'ma put the money in the toll on the road. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. I got what it takes, got what it takes. I don't want a slice, want the whole cake. Make the money move, that's my forte. Then I'ma take off for the whole day. I'm just weighing all my options. Looking at my watch, hit me back when it's popping. I've been on top cause my stock never dropping. And this is for the ones I've been watching. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck to the
hydrate, kids.
We're back.
Every
All
time
right.
every time I see that, I think I need one of them sumo wrestling outfits to protect myself. Because if I
Oh,
was
Bubble
falling,
Boy.
yeah, Bubble Boy. I mean, it looks like so much fun, and I see them just blown by big chunks of rock, man, and just if you just that, oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, with the gravel and stuff, man. Like, and if you're like nosed in, like you're like coming over like a little whoop, and you're like get that speed right, bend them knees, and if you catch a little bit of air, and then when that wheel hits, man, it's like spitting out rock. I'm surprised I don't have a cracked lens yet, man. I mean, to be quite honest.
yeah,
But I mean, it's just, I mean, it's like the thing about riding, for me, and I mean, I'm getting out and pushing myself on some of these trails, not at these speeds, right? But the thing about it for me is like I'm not thinking about anything else other than what's in front of me,
right,
and how to navigate that. So for me, it's a little bit, it's kind of therapeutic, right? Because I'm like
right.
all the noise of this world, all my mind shuts down for that riding session,
That's good.
and I'm just focused on what I'm doing. And then on top of it, I'm getting that core workout, my balance, the whole 9 yards, right? I mean, and then the squatting, like then they're just doing squats basically the whole time you're riding these dirt trails, man.
Right. Good
So,
stuff, man.
leg workout, ankle workout, calves, core, shoulders,
There you go, man.
head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I don't know. As long as you don't hit your head, you're good.
So along with Donna Hutchinson, we had Randy Murray on yesterday. Talked to him briefly. Just a quick reminder for everybody if they didn't catch yesterday's show. He's having a dinner and auction. It's going to be at St. Bernard Church. It's over on the west side.
Yep.
Just jump on exit 98. If you're heading north, take a left on 340 west, follow it down. St. Bernard's Church is right there. You can't miss it, right past the courthouse. So it's 6 o'clock, Friday, September 16th. 1 St. Bernard Lane is the address. So just plug that baby in a GPS and it'll bring you there. Should be a great time. He broke down, there's going to be pork ribs, there's going to be chicken, and he went down a laundry list of desserts, man.
Oh,
it just water. You know,
I was hungry after that little late that 40-minute session, man. I had to eat, man. I was like, man, I'm hungry. So,
I forgot to ask him if he's going to have beer there, or is it just going to be
probably it's probably not. It's church, man. Probably not. Probably not. I'm just saying wine on Sunday, but probably not, man. But no, it sounds like a really good event to go to. We're going to look at possibly showing up and doing, contributing and talking to people about how they feel about it, this mayoral race as well, right? I mean, hey,
you made some great points. You have to come out and these face-to-face conversations, you get to know people and understand what their stances are, and you can make an informed decision, you know?
And I mean, I'm real thankful that, Randy's willing to reach out and talk with us. And I mean, even after last night's little Facebook update session, we need to sit down and talk some more, man. You know what I mean? So that's what I love about this, like what we're doing, right? Is we're actually meeting really, really authentic people who aren't afraid to sit down and talk with us, even though we might not have the same viewpoints on everything, right? But everything's a teachable moment. Like I can't tell you how many podcasts I've said that on, Mark. Everything's a teachable moment. Everything that you do in life is an opportunity to learn, right? So like talking with Donna, I learned some stuff, right? And I love that interaction with people. And like the way the world operates today, it's like we're sitting here just, totally detached, texting, Facebooking, emailing, right? But like that one-on-one human interaction, that's the way we were meant to communicate.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. And there was a time when that did happen on a regular basis. And you know what? I'm all for evolving, but everybody needs that. You need human contact at the end of the day. Yeah. And Donna did a great job, Chris. I really felt.
I think she nailed it, man. I mean,
a couple jokes here and there, and I mean, she's authentic. She's who she is, and I think she brings a lot to the table. And again, we're going to interview another city council member, Ward 1, position 2 next week.
Awesome.
So there's a lot more awards out there. Please reach out to us. We'd love to have you on. We can work the schedule around. Again, we don't do this full time. We both have jobs.
Yeah.
So we'll do what we can to accommodate you. And I think if you don't do that, you're doing a disservice to the citizens. I think they get to know you better. Have candid conversations. So
well, I think we said it on our first interview, right? Is how do you get to know a person other than sitting down and having a conversation with?
Right. Yeah. Right. Very true.
That's true. So, and there's a laundry list of candidates in this race, man. This is a, and I like to see that. I like to see. Well,
I didn't want everybody to go uncontested, Chris.
That was my fear, was it was going to go uncontested.
Yeah, I was worried when what was it, 8:10? Well, no, 8:03 was the first at noon was when they started signing, right?
Yeah.
They could go up to 8:10 at noon. And I was worried. I'm like, some of these aren't even being contested.
Yeah. But then we checked it that closing day, and I was like, yes, all right, man, this is a race. At least 3 candidates for every open position minus treasurer. At least 3 candidates, right?
Yeah, and I'm good. Excited. And it doesn't, again, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. It doesn't matter to me. The fact that you're making the time and the effort to better this community is what we're looking at.
Yep. 100%, man. So yeah, and I really hope that we can make it out to that Randy Murray auction. I'm just hungry, man. So we're
gonna have to eat and run because that's the show.
I know it's on a Friday where we have to do the show, and I'm like, man, okay, we can go, we can eat, we can talk to a few people.
You'll be sleeping after you eat all those desserts.
I know, and maybe we'll just go live on the way back to the house or something. I don't know, man. But it sounds like a blast, man. But yeah, I know Randy. He's going to be doing more of these, I'm sure. Right? Yeah. He's done the thing up at the Walking Tacos up at the Metfield. He did the Rocket Pops at the Lake Avalon. He did a barbecue thing at his house. He's doing the St. Bernard. He's like Johnny Cash, man. I've been everywhere, man. I'm serious, man.
Yes, it's true.
He's putting in the legwork, man, for sure. Yeah. And you got to respect a man that's putting in the legwork like that. You have to. You have to.
There's no doubt about that.
So
and he's dragging his family with him, man. Yeah. The kids, the wife. His wife.
That's what I love about it. This is a family initiative, right? They have a common goal as a family, and they're supportive of each other as a family.
Yeah.
Family units are what are important in this time and age that we're living in.
Yeah.
The family unit is what made, our industrial age and everything else, all the wars that this country's fought, right, is everybody, lacing up them boots, tightening up that belt, and being supportive of the family, doing what they got to do to get through things, right? And so, I don't know. For me, family is a lot. And to see this in a candidate, I don't know. It speaks volumes to me. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah, it warms my heart, man, seeing that, because it just brings back memories when my kids were young and did stuff with them. And, they get older and they won't be around you anymore.
Well, then they get a little older and then they're around you again. There's hope, man. There's hope. There's hope.
Unless they need some money, right?
Yeah. Hey, Dad. Came up a little short on rent.
Kidding, man.
So we're going to go ahead and open up the phone lines. We're going to try to open up the phone lines if Chris can find the phone number. Calling number. There it is. Boom. All right. Phone lines are open if you feel like you want to talk with us about anything that we've already discussed. 479-202-4053. The lines are open. Hopefully. Maybe I should give it a call real quick. Make sure, that one time. Remember that one time that we thought that it was open and they weren't.
No
go. So 4053. Boom.
This line's been disconnected.
We're sorry. The number you're trying to reach has been disconnected. Oh yeah, phone lines are open. Yep. It's a ringing. All right, so we definitely do have phone lines open. That being said, we're going to move on to the next little segment, and that would be talking about the recap of the short-term rentals. So I encourage everybody to go out to our Facebook page, NWA Exchange. Search it in the little bar up there on Facebook's. And we did a video last night, about 43 minutes, kind of went a little long. We broke down all the information that we, found on the city's website regarding the packet for their work session that's taking place on Monday. There's 3 short-term rental proposals in there. We took those short-term rental proposals and we kind of broke them down into a format where we could see the commonalities between them and obviously call out the differences. So good information in that video. What I can say, I'm going to summarize this right off the bat. I don't feel that any of the 3 proposals that are out there right now are ready to move forward. What I do feel is that the city council should take all 3 of these proposals like we did, right? I don't know. We did it in like 30 minutes before we went live. We took all those and we lined up the commonalities. So here's where we have common ground, right? And here's where we have a difference of opinion.
Right.
But then also look at, is this discriminatory? Are we exploiting somebody? Is this within our means? Like having community development services show up every year to inspect your property, right? It's not realistic. Sorry. And then also, the stuff that we've discussed already. I mean, I know we have some city council members that watch our podcast. Hopefully they're taking notes on the stuff that we're saying. But what I'm going to say is I don't think that it's ready yet. I think that this is rushed. It's knee-jerkish. And you get one shot to do it right, or you're going to suffer the consequences of getting it wrong.
Right.
And and it's not that you're going to suffer. We're all in this together. Okay. Right. So if I get a little punchy, at a city council meeting, or if I get a little punchy on a podcast, playing "I'm so lonely," if I get a little punchy like that, man, it's because I actually care about you and I'm trying to shake the crap out of you to get your attention. Right. Right. Doesn't mean I don't, I wish ill will or on you or harm upon you. It doesn't mean any of that. Right. Yeah. It means this is a reality check. Right. Take notice. Right. Yeah. That being said, I hope that they received the feedback. I think I will probably come to that meeting on Monday. Early, and I'm going to just talk to them casually and say, you guys need to keep on working on this. You're getting there slowly, right? But you need to work on this more. You need to actually sit down collectively and quit getting in this little pissing match between each other, right? Right. Right. Mine's better than yours. You seem to have all the answers. No, you're acting like a child, right? I mean, it was just so embarrassing watching that dialogue. Right. And this is what a work session is for, right? Is for people to actually sit down and work together, right? And come up with something that has it's not partisan, but has a resemblance of a bipartisan legislation, thoughtful, well planned, well executed, put out. Right. I don't know. Those are my thoughts, Brady.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, at this point, I think this is a good starting point, is what this is. This is just a beginning. It was in October, then we moved it to finalize in August. I wanted to move it to January. I think there's just a lot of stuff here. You have the gentleman coming from ADH out from Little Rock, going to give you his spiel about septic systems. That's not going to change anything the short-term rental people are doing. It's just be education at the end of the day. But I think at the end of the day, we both agree with we don't want more overreach. Yeah. People own these properties. They paid for these properties. and you got to allow them to manage these properties.
Exactly. It's called property rights, right? I mean, like, gosh, man.
Yeah, and I think Yurik, we had him on before, and he sent a reply this morning. He hit the nail right in the head. It's blatant overreach, and I totally agree with him. There's no need for it, and it's a slippery slope. You go that direction, then what happens next?
Yeah, man, at the end of the day, we're all grown ass men and women, right? I mean, like, we don't need, mommy government, City of Bella Vista, telling us how to properly manage our stuff. Really?
Yeah. And quite frankly, we don't have the resources to do it. I mean, we can't. We have trouble managing what we have now, and
if anybody in community development says they have the bandwidth to properly manage this program, I have to say you're a bold-faced liar. You don't have the bandwidth to manage the builds. We've seen that. We've showed that, right? Have you been over by Constant since it's been finished? Have you drove by that property yet?
No, I haven't been over
there.
Dude,
man, I'm telling you, like, the driveway looks like a ramp that we're going to probably see at the Amped Electric games, man. I mean, it is a straight up swoosh. I mean, it's like have you seen that new Chinese aircraft carrier where it's got like the swooped takeoff deck? I mean, people probably think I'm exaggerating. No, literally, I was like, holy moly, I could probably catch air on that on the one wheel, man. But imagine driving into that.
Right. Well, yeah. How about an ice? You come down that and hit ice, you're going to go right through the garage door, man.
You're gonna take out the wall. There is no. I mean, like, I don't know, man. That one right there. So again, it goes back to, do you have the bandwidth? I'm not throwing stones at these people. I'm sure these people care about their jobs. I'm sure they, everything that Doug, council explains and all that. I'm not beating anybody up. What I'm saying is, do you honestly feel that you have the bandwidth? And if you look me in the eyes and you say, I honestly feel we have the bandwidth, I'm gonna have to take you down for a mental evaluation. Gonna have to, man. I'm sorry. Sorry, man. I don't think you do, right? But if you feel you do, right, then I'll give you A for effort. But at the end of the day, you don't, man.
It's not necessary, man. It's just everybody can manage their own business. They're running like business. There's really good people that run those STRs, and a lot of them have multiple ones. Yeah, you're always going to have your bad apple in a batch, man. It happens.
Like Donna's 10% theory, right? I mean, like there's a certain percentage of people who just, the rules don't apply to me.
And they'll weed themselves out, or their peers will weed them out, right? Yeah. They'll realize they're getting pressured because they got someone that's not managing it correctly, and they'll just weed them out. So I'm not worried about it. I don't think it's necessary for us to get involved with that process. It's just going to be more cost, more labor, more people. I mean, and quite frankly, I'm not a lawyer, but it looks like some of that stuff's not even legal to me.
A lot of it's blatant overreach, constitutional overreach, everything else. You can sit there and say, like, the thing about the limiting of activities, the activity type limitations, right? That one right there is the one that I think probably rubs me the wrong way, like, the most, right? Is, who do you think you are? Right. Who do you think you are to tell me what I can and cannot do on my property, as long as I'm operating within the bounds of the law?
Right. Right.
Well, this is law now because we signed it in. Okay, is that law constitutional?
Right.
See, these are the questions that I think that our city attorney should be answering, but I don't know.
Well, it's like you push it through, then you find out, and someone calls you out in the carpet.
Yeah, you have a oh shit moment. Oh, we're getting sued for $2.8 million. That's cool for the taxpayer, right? Because we got it wrong. Yeah. Right? And that's happening across the country. People are suing city and local governments, state governments for overreach.
Right.
Constantly.
Right. Yeah.
Think about it before you pass it. Get it vetted. Have some constitutional lawyers look at it. Right? This is constitutional. That's all I'm asking, man. Why the rush? Get it right the first time, or don't do it at all.
Yep. Yeah, and that's, I had that conversation, I'd rather wait until...
I don't know. There's just so many people in this world that are just fine with half-ass, and their way through things, right?
Throwing
And
a
usually
wall.
it sticks, right? Usually the poop sticks to the ceiling when you throw it up there, right? But someone will have to get up there and clean it when it starts stinking,
Well, we'll find out, man, how that's going to play out on the 29th. So like I said before, there's going to be a large turnout, and we'll see how everything plays out. But I don't think it's going to get. I mean, it's 29th. What are you going to do? Approve it on the 30th, the 31st?
No, it doesn't have to
Enough
go through
time.
like 3 readings or something like that. I think they
Yeah,
count
it's
the
not gonna
first
get done.
reading, the work session, so it would go through the next month.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they said they'd get it done in August. It's not getting done in August. I mean, I wanted to get it done till January, but whatever. They're going to do what they're going to do.
Well, your
So,
stance, you said it should wait till we get new leadership. And I
Yeah.
agree with that stance. There's not a rush. Donna, I think, even said it during her interview. Like you're talking maybe 50 people using her 10% rule, potentially impacted negatively, right?
just gather the intel. Let's make it.
It's not an emergent issue. I think the emergent issue is saying you need to disclose if you're a short-term rental, and we will go ahead and give you a temporary permit while this legislation is being worked, right? Cap it at that number right then. No future. You're grandfathered in. Effective today. You have 30 days to disclose if you're a short-term rental. That's it. Right. This is where we're at. You notify us that you're operating one of these. Now you start looking at the demographics. You look at the locations. You look at how many are on the street.
Right. That's what you
that's what you can start formulating, like a well thought out. Is this an impact to a specific road in our community? Is this an impact to, Loch Lomond? Is Loch Lomond surrounded by short-term rentals, right? Now it turns into a party lake or whatnot. But that's the emergent situation is the identification and then capping it. And then doing out the well thought out planned legislation on how we're going to manage this situation.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned that yesterday. We need to drill down and make it like a granular point and find out exactly where these are located, what part of Bella Vista they're located.
And then, is this a single family dwelling or is it in a connected townhouse, right? And so now there's circumstances that, should we allow a short-term rental to be operated in a townhome? Because it does directly impact the people next door, right? Because they have a shared wall. Fire, insurance purposes, the whole 9 yards. Roofing, the noise level. I mean, these are this is where it should be well thought out, but I don't see any of this thought process going into any of these 3 proposals at all. None.
No. Well, I'm hoping the meeting will bring out more information and we can kind of hammer this out. Like you said, this should have been done in work sessions, but
apparently, in a properly functioning setting, right? I'm glad to see there's 3 proposals. I'm gonna say that, right? Because any type of engineering brainstorming session that I've ever been through, throughout my career as an adult, has been, here's the problem. What do you got? Throw it in the middle of the table, right? Now we take everything in the middle of the table and we separate it by this, or we put them together because they're similar ideas, right? And then we say, okay, here's what we got. What else can we come up with what we got sitting in front of us on the table, right? That's called brainstorming, though. But apparently brainstorming is not a thing in this city council, right? They don't collectively brainstorm together and come up with something that accurately represents the constituents that these people represent in their wards. Right. It's just a single effort from one man and a single effort from another man and single effort from another man.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll leave it there, man.
We beat that. Mule. Let's get on, right?
We're almost cracking into an hour and a half.
I know. Right. So there's one more point of interest on that work packet, and it was the appointment of the person that we brought up last week. And I'm sorry, man. I know people are probably like, man, you just kind of rough on her. You mean, right? Sorry, man. Sorry. Not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. All right. So I think we brought up the fact that the Bella Vista POA appointed J.B. Portillo as the chair of the Rules and Regulations Committee. They didn't get a second on that during that, what I've witnessed on the internet, their live stream.
Right.
We talked about that last week, but come to find out, let me see if I can pull up
I get a second because nobody was there, right? There was, Cash said the same thing.
Well, no, there were other board members there. They just allowed it to proceed without a second, man. Which I would say that that's an illegitimate vote. In my, right. If we're following the rules that you got, Robert's Rules of Order, right? I think that's what it's called, right? If you're following the rules that you use for this, then there was no second. It's illegitimate. Right. Somebody's got to second it. It's got to be voted. It was never seconded. It was just kind of like all in favor.
It's done.
Yeah. Right. But let me see if I can find it.
I did watch, and it was very uncomfortable. The gal across the
it
table.
Was. It
really was just a weird situation, and I don't know if everybody saw that. If you had that video, I mean, that was just it was just
go back to last week's podcast. I think it's in the last 20 minutes of the podcast, so you can scrub through it real quick. So the agendas and minutes on the work session. There was one more topic on there, which I found interesting. Given that we just discussed this on last Friday's podcast, is their website running really slow? Yes. I don't know why. Probably got me on some tracking filter. Who knows? Dang guys. Acting like, oh yeah, here it is. R2022 resolution approving the mayor's appointment of J.B. Portillo to the Bella Vista Arts Council to fill an unexpired term ending April 22nd, 2024, resulting from the resignation of Shelley Kerr. All right. So I did a little legwork, because I'm just like, we just talked about this.
Yeah.
We just talked about it. So this individual was already on the City Planning Commission. This individual was Peter Christie for Arkansas's campaign manager / treasurer.
Right.
She's a Bella Vista board member. She's on the audit committee for the Bella Vista POA, Rules and Regulations Committee for the Bella Vista, principal officers of Bella Vista Community Television, independent business owner at JB Consulting, and business owner at the Chocolate Rose LLC. I'm sure there's more. There's more.
So what's the JBP? What is that consulting?
It's consulting. It's maybe that's what she did the campaign manager stuff on.
Oh, okay. All right.
For Peter's flop. I don't know. But what I'm saying is this sounds like a very busy person. Very busy person. Nestling themselves in a lot of institutions in this community that are paramount to the success or the failure. I'm going to say it like Dr. Evil said in that video. Well, we'll just play the video.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Let's just play the video, right?
Hey there, Mark. I am a fellow Bella Vistan, and I'm just making a call to make sure that you know that we have an assessment increase coming up starting August the 10th through October the 4th.
Get off the phone. Get off the fucking phone.
Right.
And we're very much hoping that you will vote yes, but we are absolutely wanting you to vote no matter which way you vote, because we would need a 51% quorum, or we would have to do the assessment over again. So anyway, if you have any questions at all, please call the POA, and we do hope that you vote yes. Thank you.
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
Oh, snap. Right, are we comfortable with this person being so meddlesome in every institution that determines our success or failure and how much money we have to pay?
I should ask you what what boards isn't she on?
That would be a more accurate question, right? What aren't you involved with? Right?
Right.
So, I don't know. I just think that this person's a very busy person. I don't think that this person could actually dedicate the time that it requires, to ethically, serve the duties of the Bella Vista Arts Council. Just saying that, putting that out there, right?
Well, I think that was brought up in the POA meeting. The gal across from her said the same thing.
Yeah.
That you have a lot on your plate. You really think you can handle what you want to do now. So,
right. That being said, we'll move on and past that little subject. We don't want to sit. We're not beating anybody up. Promise. What was the last
give
thing
me
we
the
had?
data. The data
yeah.
threat. I mean, you got to pop that up. I mean, here we go again, man.
So Apple, Mac, iPhone being compromised if time permits. That's what we had on our agenda. We got time. We got about 2 minutes. Make sure you update your dang iPhone. But I don't know. Do you need to update your iPhone? Why are you being told to update your iPhone? Because of a threat, right? Where your data might be compromised. Or are you getting an update to approve said data threats? I don't know. We don't know anymore, right? We've been lied to so much over the past 3 years. Do we really
I like
know?
how you read the small print and it's like in a,
right.
you can't even, you squint and you can't even see it. It's just blur,
Yeah. But on top of that, with the data threat, or with the iPhones being compromised, to a vulnerability, lawmakers decided that they were going to demand data from social media platforms about threats against law enforcement.
This is crazy.
I thought they already had all that data. We call it metadata. Remember? I don't know.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched the Snowden documentary, they already have the data, right?
Yeah. That documentary was great, and it brings you inside of what really was going on.
So, but they're going to social media and they're saying, well, you need to give us the data on people who've made, I don't know. I'm sure they gave them a list of instructions. Have you ever said this? Remember they came out, like, have you ever used, are you pro Second Amendment? You might be labeled as a domestic terrorist, right? I don't know. I ain't no domestic terrorist. I can tell you that much. I don't believe in violence unless violence is brought against me, right?
Again, this is kind of like a Gestapo attack, just pulling information and making uninformed decisions by people's social media platforms, and they're requesting that from multiple platforms, by the way.
Well, multiple platforms, right? YouTube, Facebook, was it Truth, Gab, Twitter, and even some of these other like lower tier social media communication platforms, right?
Right.
So it's funny that this comes out after their raid on former President Donald Trump, right? And people were rightfully concerned about the way that happened, because that was a historical moment, right? Never happened in the history of this country where the FBI raids a political opponent, right? He has intentions of running. He signaled his intentions of running in 2024.
Right.
So, I don't know, but now you're concerned about what your behavior has kind of, the light that your behavior has painted you in. You're concerned. You're rightfully concerned. It's called a conscience, right?
Yeah.
You're concerned for your own safety because of something that you did. Might have been totally legit. All you got to do is publish the search warrant, right?
Right.
Own up to it. But might have been totally legit. Give them the benefit of the doubt, right? I believe that there are good people in every institution there's bad people in every institution as well, right?
Right.
The majority are good people. So, the concern is now you're demanding to know who was upset about that. That's where I think the concern comes in, right? Is now are you actively labeling under the color of law citizens of this country who are protected by the Constitution.
Right.
Like that's the light that you've painted yourself in, though. But you're concerned about we the people.
Right. And my question is anybody ever gonna follow up with that to verify that who folded up like a cheap suit?
Right.
And let them I'm sure they already have access to all those social media sites.
They have access to every data stream that hits the internet, man. I mean, that was done by the Patriot Act, man.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You think that you think that because you're using Snapchat or Telegram or like unless your router is point-to-point encrypted, I guarantee they probably break the encryption too. You know, to be quite honest. So I'm just saying, people buying these VPN services, those are probably honeypots. I mean, everything that you do is logged to this server, which is subject to, subpoena by the federal government. So go ahead and pay us $5.99 a month so that we can just fast lane it to them, right?
Yeah.
Or you just operate ethically and you be a good person, right? You use the tools that our forefathers gave you, right? And that's the freedom of speech, right? The freedom to protest peacefully, right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about mostly peaceful protests. I'm talking about peacefully protesting, showing up to city council meetings, petitioning your government, airing your grievances out for 3 minutes, only 3 minutes. And you better address the people up here, not the people in the back of the room. Those 3 minutes, right, is where you get, and if it takes you a year to get your point across, do it 3 minutes at a time, baby.
Yeah.
Do it 3 minutes at a time. But I do not, I'm going to be very clear on this. I don't condone violence on anybody, right? Use your words. Use your words, right? Use your words thoughtfully and smartly, or use your sarcasm and your wit. But either way, get your point across.
Right. Yeah,
That's
totally
it.
Agree, man.
I think we're done with the show, man.
Yeah, it was a great night, and we covered a lot of content, and I enjoyed it, man.
I did. I look forward to next week with another interview. I love these interviews. I love talking with people. You know that.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is we're going to let you guys out of here a little early tonight.
Well, we got another next week. You're right. Yeah. So we'll have another one out there for you so people can, another gentleman running for the city council. So.
Don't forget to make it out to the Bluebird Shed and support the Nature Preserve. Is it Nature Preserve? Purchase a calendar.
Oh yeah, North Song. Yeah, North Song. So yeah, the calendars are at the Bluebird Shed, and $20 for the calendars. $5 is going to go to a donation toward North Song for wildlife rehabilitation. So thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, no problem. And if you're watching this either live or after the fact, share this out with share this out on your feed. Share us out with your friends. Again, we open platform. Call-in's welcome. Anytime you guys want to call in, if you see call-in's welcome, which I'm going to take that down right now, because we're getting ready to close out the show. Call in. I mean, if you want to pick our brain on a topic, or you want to talk with us, or you just want to, you want to call in and get into an argument with me, I might be down for that too. We can have a healthy debate, right? But what I'm saying is like we're approachable, we're open. Our emails are always up on the screen.
Yeah.
Shoot us an email if there's a topic that you feel that we're not covering, or you want us to elaborate more on our stance on something. Again, we're here to be a platform to talk about things in our community and create educated and informed citizens in our community. That's it. We have so many echo chambers that shut down free speech, right? You can't do this. It violates our rules, right? Well, you know what? We've seen that. It happens every week. We see it on all these groups every week, right? And we're tired of it, right? People who rightfully have a position, which they're allowed to have a position on any topic in this country, should be able to freely have healthy adult dialogue, but it's not happening.
No. Well, it was well put, man. Great night. Appreciate everybody, and have a great weekend.
Yep. Stay happy, healthy, humble. Make sure you call your mama. Tell her you love her. Talk to you later. Have a great night, y'all. If I can get us out of here, I can get us out of here. Bam. See ya.
If you feel like you've been down the same road.